So, Drew Thelwell, Adam Jacoby, Hawkeye Beacon. Drew Thelwell, you brought him in with this experience to really bolster the backcourt. What have you seen from him so far? Have you gotten what you've expected out of him?
Yeah, Drew's been great. Really a special young man, very mature, competes. He and Brock have been going at it. That's been good for both of them. It's been good for the team. As I've said before, they can play together, which is important. And you're right, it bolsters our backcourt in a number of different ways, not the least of which is experience.
Fran, when it comes to recruiting guys and maintaining a team culture, is it important just to find the right fit for the program, and is it just about leaders stepping up, or how do you kind of maintain the culture in an era where guys are free agents and guys are kind of moving around?
I think that's the most critical thing. I still want to build a program. I still want to get guys that are really good players and develop them. I mean, I think you look particularly at our sophomore class. Obviously, we know what Owen did, but I'm talking about Brock, Price, Logic. They were both all three of them were really good last year. But they had an off season, a summer, a fall, a number of cycles in the weight room, and all three of them have really elevated their games. And that's what building a program is. And not feeling like you have to go get 8 or 9 guys. We got 2 that we felt fit our culture and fit our needs positionally, because we knew what we had coming back, and that was established the day after the Utah game. Okay, who's coming back? And so now we know who's coming back, and we know what we need. We knew what we had coming in the freshman class. We were excited about those guys, and that's how we're going to continue to try to do it.
Fran, can you discuss the competition at the 4 spot right now for you, and what's standing out about those guys?
Well, all the guys that are competing for playing time there, they're all really good and they're all different. Elijah, Cooper, Seydu. But again, all 3 of them, they're not 4 men. They can play the 4 spot, they can play the 3 spot, they can play the 5 spot. Logic maybe more 4-5. Coop and Seydu maybe more 3-4. But I would be comfortable playing Seydu in the backcourt. Same thing with Coop. So somebody's going to start there, but there's going to be a lot of different guys there.
Fran, it appeared this offseason like you made a concerted effort to add more athleticism, at least based on the personnel you brought in. Would you agree with that, or did that just kind of happen, materialize?
We're just trying to get good players. And we were very excited about Coop and Chris. We needed to address the point guard position without question, and we felt like we needed another front court guy.
Since Peyton decided to come back, what have just your observations been of his attitude, the way he's working?
Well, Peyton's attitude has always been fabulous. It's never going to be anything other than that. I do think, in response to your question, while he was also a leader last year, I think he used himself as the guy that was going to be the voice in the locker room, the voice on the bench, the voice on the road. And I'm very impressed with what he learned going through the NBA draft process and his attitude upon return and how it relates to his teammates has been, quite frankly, what I would have expected from him. When he made the decision to come back, he made it for that reason. And I'm incredibly proud of him and very thankful, and so are his teammates.
Fran, were you ever thinking he was gone during that process?
Well, anytime somebody goes through the process, that's a distinct possibility, right? Remember Joe Wieskamp? We always talk about him. He had the option to come back. He shot 7 for 8 in the first competitive game at the Combine. He also measured well. I mean, there were a number of things that happened in a positive way. Then he had a solid offer on the table, so then he was gone. Peyton also had solid offers on the table. but none that I think would have drawn him away from this program or this opportunity to do something special, and then also, as I've said many times, bet on himself to move into the first round.
What have you seen in his game and just what he's been able to learn from that experience?
Well, he's always been a guy that moves incredibly well without the ball. It's sort of non-stop motion. Sprints the floor in transition. He really works hard defensively. He rebounds well. So he tries to impact the game in a number of ways. We saw him get a triple-double last year. So I do think he's making a concerted effort to sort of be that guy. He's always been a great shooter. When he was sixth man of the year in the league, you know, he was really special with his three-point shooting in particular, but he knows in order to make the NBA, in order to help this team be what it could be, we need him to be an all-league player in all facets, and that's what he's going to do.
Frank, when it comes to Owen Freeman, I mean, he's always spoken to us that he's a calm but very fiery player. When you go into a season, sophomore season after the freshman year he had, how important is it that you already have a guy that's mature beyond his years when you talk about improvement-driven mindset? Just how have you kind of seen him take advantage of that throughout the last few months?
The thing about Owen is he's a special young guy in so many different ways, and he's incredibly talented, but he also recognizes that there's room for growth and wants to get better. So for him, it started in the weight room, but then it also morphed into doing more off the bounce, doing more from the perimeter as a shooter. I used to tell him, even when he was in high school, to look for his shot more. Flash to the high post, catch, turn, and face, and shoot it. Shoot the foul line jumper. That sets up your shot fake drive, because he's a shot fake drive, one dribble dunk guy from there. So he really worked hard on his shot on his own time. He worked very closely with Kirk Spearall, just on their own. And then, of course, with our coaches as well. But he got it in this summer. And you're seeing a dramatic difference, because a lot of times it's not necessarily form or technique, it's confidence. And knowing that your coach has the confidence in you to shoot the ball. He's not going to encourage you to shoot the ball, then you shoot and miss, then he tells you not to shoot. Well, you're never going to be a good shooter. So I've been encouraging him since he was 15 years old. And you'll see a guy with a more complete game this year, be even more dominant.
Fran, I've heard a little bit about Price really taking his game to that next level over the summer. I guess where did that start? How has it reached that next
It sort of started towards the end of last season, when he made a concerted effort. From an attitude perspective, he was going to be more physical. He was going to be more aggressive. A lot of times a guy comes in, he's a freshman, he's coming off the bench, he wants to be solid, and we need solid. We don't need mistake makers. But in Price's case, there was so much more in his game than we were seeing in the beginning, and you started to see it manifest itself at the end of the year. Again, through the spring, summer, and fall. He also got in the weight room, so he put on probably 12 pounds of muscle, so he's way more physical. He's always had great length. He's always been an underrated defender with his length, and he'll rebound his position well. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's just really shooting the ball at an incredibly high clip on a consistent basis. Because we stat everything from every 5-on-5 situation, every practice. So from the second week of June until October, and he's killing it.
Brandon, Brock was